Everybody, get ready. You might be able to see it. There is a white wall of water coming this way. Heavy, heavy rain is right around the corner. It'll be here in about 30 seconds. My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. I just made it out here, or I should say we just made it out here to Lone Wolf Mountain. For this week's adventure, I thought about doing a backpacking trip, but I changed my mind, and that's because of a tent that I received recently that I purchased. It is a Cot Tent, and every single time I go inside of my gear room, I see this Cot Tent, and I want to take it out and use it. So folks, that's what we're doing in this episode. We are going to test out the Nightcat Cot Tent. I know what you're thinking, folks. Luke, what is up with the sun? The sun is never out in your videos, your adventures. Well, folks, there is rain on the way. There's storms on the way. And to be honest, I'm glad the sun is out, because that is going to heat up the atmosphere and potentially make these storms stronger. It may look beautiful right now, and it is. It is towards the south, but if you look towards the north, the sky is black. In fact, everyone, there's a thunderstorm right next to us that's moving away, and you can hear the thunder. Oh yes. Folks, this should be a very interesting trip. The first thing that I need to do is to get a tarp set up over the back of the vehicle. That way, if it starts to rain, it could start raining at any minute. When you live in an environment that's as wet as this one, the smart thing to do is to get your protection set up. So folks, let's get to work. Let's get a tarp set up over the top of the 4Runner. Already, everyone, things are changing. The sky is getting pretty dark over here. The wind is picking up some. It doesn't mean that it's going to rain anytime soon, but you can tell there's instability in the atmosphere. Because of that, let me go ahead, let's set up the tent real quick. Let's just get that out of the way. As I go about setting up this tent, I'm interested to see the design of this thing. Oftentimes when it comes to cot tents, they usually have poor designs. Sometimes they don't connect well to the cot, sometimes they don't anchor very well to the ground. So let's see what this one is all about. I just received an alert that says light rain is about to begin. So as it stands right now, we are surrounded by rain showers and also thunderstorms. As far as the Nightcat cot tent goes, this is interesting. The cot is very similar to most foldable, breakdownable cots from One Tigress, Nature Hike, Hill and Knox, and so on. When it comes to the tent, it's not as well designed as the cot. In fact, while not bad, right? I get this feeling like the company had a tent that was already designed and they put it on top of this cot. And then they added some features afterwards. Features that don't really make that much sense. For an example, a tie-off point on the backside here is actually a guy line tied to a strap, which is pretty poor and also a little bit funny. It's a guy line that is tied to a strap that has a buckle on it. You have the exact same thing at the front of the tent. It feels like it's an afterthought, right? They forgot that the tent has to be anchored to the ground. It works, right? It's not going anywhere, but without a doubt, it could be designed better. Oh no. Everybody, I just noticed that they did not seam seal this stitch right here in front of the door. Everything else has been seam sealed, but not this. So if it rains really, really hard, it'll soak through the stitches here and drip into the inside of the tent. And just like that, everyone, it is now raining. It is very, very light, but it's raining. It really is amazing how fast the conditions change here in the mountains. I know everybody says that about where they live, but it's especially true here. That's because this is a temperate rainforest. Every single year, annually, roughly 74 inches of rain. Last year, about 120. Oftentimes, I see in the comment section about me always camping in the rain. That's not by choice. I camp in the rain because it's always raining. It's just an aspect that you have to deal with when you live in this area. Luckily, I love the rain, right? It cools things down, it makes things interesting. I love it. As it stands right now, it's just a light rain that's falling. All of a sudden, folks, the sky towards the west here coming this direction is black. Very, very dark. It's possible that we have something on the way. For now, I'm not going to check the radar. I'm going to focus on making some coffee, get that done before whatever that is arrives. Things might just get interesting in just a minute. While I was making coffee here and working with this stove, it got me to thinking that I should mention, folks, that every piece of gear that I use is based upon your feedback. This tent is something that many people have requested that I test out and review. This stove, a viewer wrote in, asked about it, and here you go. In other words, everybody, if there's something that you're interested in, shoot me an email, let me know what it is, and I'll see what I can do. I do have to purchase just about everything that you see on this channel, so don't ask me to buy a $6,000 tent or something weird like that, but luckily there's not many $6,000 tents out on the market right now. There is a new tent that's about to hit the market, and I want to say it's about $2,500. I actually purchased this tent, but I had to force the company to give me a refund. That's because the company didn't deliver the product when they said they would. It was supposed to arrive in the middle of winter. The tent is really, really wild. It's an expedition air-supported tent, but unfortunately, because they could not deliver on time, I had to get my money back. I'll talk more about this company in the future, but they did not want to do that, but I had to force them. So I got my money back, and in the future, we will talk about this crazy tent. Possibly in the future, I will get it into review, but I didn't like the way the company handled themselves, so we'll see about that. Anyways, folks, it is getting pretty dark that direction and now overhead. We have a storm coming, folks. We best get ready. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. It is beginning to rain, folks, so let's make this real quick. You may have noticed that I didn't park down here this time. This is a place that I oftentimes set up camp at. It's all because of this tree here. This tree has a substantial lean to it. So much of a lean that I really don't want to park down here. I'm concerned that this tree one day is going to come down. I may have to actually cut it down, to be honest. I hate to do that, you know, but you could see the lean on it. All it's going to take is the right wind gust to blow that tree down anyways. Because there's a good chance of storms today, I parked up there on top of the hill, away from this. Everybody, get ready. You might be able to see it. There is a white wall of water coming this way. Heavy, heavy rain is right around the corner. It'll be here in about 30 seconds. You could actually hear it coming, everyone. There's a roar going through the forest right now, and the winds are picking up too. This could be a nasty storm, everyone. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on my rain gear real quick. This is definitely a wind-blown rain, that's for sure. The temperature is dropping big time. I'm actually glad to have this rain gear on. Woo. Let's go, baby. Let's do this. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. As an update, everyone, it's been raining for the last 30 minutes or so. That was something else. That came in like a lion. Luckily, the winds didn't pick up too high, too strong. The tent survived as far as staying put goes. Here in a minute, we'll check on it, and we'll see whether or not it leaked. With this rain event, this is nothing special. This isn't a front coming through or anything like that. This is just a typical Friday, and that's it. It's one of those things that you really do have to get accustomed to if you're going to live up here in the mountains where I do. So much rain, right? So much moisture. Some of those lightning strikes were rather close. I'm impressed. That's a good start to the evening. As far as the rest of the evening goes, I have no idea what's coming in. I haven't checked the radar or anything. There is a chance of rain all night long, all the way till tomorrow morning. So we'll see. My biggest question right now is whether or not that tent leaked. Because if it leaked, I will have to sleep inside of the 4Runner. And I'm not quite prepared for that, to be honest. I can make it work, yeah, but I really prefer not to. That's how it goes. I don't know. Nightcat, don't let me down. You know what I mean? That's a trusted brand, right? Yeah, Nightcat. That is a Chinese company. That is a Chinese-made tent. It is time for another update, everybody. We are now roughly an hour into this rain event, and it continues to go on with no sign of letting up. In fact, I think it's going to get strong again. I was able to see the mountains pretty good, but they're beginning to cloud up. And it does sound like the rain is picking up. So, I've just been sitting here staring at that tent, wondering to myself whether or not it's leaking right now. It's possible. When it comes to this tent, it did leak, but luckily the inside of the tent is not wet. We have this storm flap that goes over the zipper, right? This has not been seam taped, and because of that, water has made it on the inside of this tent and has run down the fly. It has also sprinkled a little bit onto the body. As far as I could tell, the inside of the tent is 98% dry. But without a doubt, if you were planning to purchase this tent, you would have to seam seal this. Otherwise, eventually it will leak. Here we go, everybody. The next round is here. Heavy rain is incoming. I love it. You know, everybody, some people can take their pants off, their rain pants off, because there are zippers down at the bottom. They can take them off with their shoes on. I can't do that. I mean, some people must have baby feet because mine do not fit. The next storm is here, folks. I'm not sure if we will get a direct hit or not. To me, it sounds like the thunder's a little bit to our south and may move past us, but nonetheless, there's a storm out there. At the same time, it is super, super dark. What I'm making here is a teriyaki steak bowl with cauliflower rice, cabbage, and broccoli. It has been seasoned with garlic, onion, and sesame seeds. I fried everything up with just a little bit of chili oil for some added flavor and heat. Then I added some sweet chili sauce, along with some teriyaki sauce, and just a little bit of yum yum. And now everyone, dinner is ready. This smells so good, I cannot wait to dig in. Folks, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a try. Everyone, that is unbelievable. Cauliflower rice is really unusual, but I like it. That is so good. Seasoned to perfection. The steak is super soft. I'm going to turn the camera off now and just eat. I think I see that sunblock. I put on this sunblock every single day because after you've had skin cancer twice, you don't want to have it anymore. You know what I mean? But every time I sweat, it builds up at my hairline for some reason. Anyways, dinner tonight is fantastic. It is so incredibly good. Like seriously, this is a 10 out of 10. Do it again. The other day, folks, I was cruising down the road. I want to say, actually, I was heading out for an overnight trip. Anyways, I'm driving down the road, and this black vehicle passes me going the other direction. It was a 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. And folks, it looked incredibly sick. That was one awesome looking 4Runner. I have not seen many of those. I want to say two. I saw a regular silver one and that TRD Pro. Am I going to trade this one in for a new one? No. No, I'm not. The 2025 is definitely sick, but I love Trails. Trails is awesome. It's been a really good vehicle. Is that going to be a really good tent? I don't know. Talking about new vehicles, my neighbor, he just got a GMC 2500, whatever they call it, $120,000 for a truck. It's a nice truck. Is any vehicle worth that much money? Not to me, but you know, to each their own, right? I don't judge. I completely understand. You want what you want. Fair enough, you know? If he likes that truck, more power to him. Talking about expensive vehicles, let's talk about the opposite end of the spectrum. Let's talk about inexpensive vehicles. This morning, I was laying in bed, drinking coffee, waking up. Yes, I like to lay in bed and drink coffee to wake up. Anyways, I'm sitting there, I'm reading the news on my phone, I'm kind of scrolling through the headlines, And I see this article talking about a brand new vehicle that's about to hit the market that starts at $20,000. And get this, it's an EV. It's this tiny little vehicle, this little truck, that can transform into a 4-person SUV. That's kind of the thing about it. It can transform from a truck to an SUV and anything in between. And again, it's super inexpensive. The selling point for this thing is that it's everything that you need a vehicle to be and nothing more. So, like, I don't know how many options there are exactly, but like the windows, they roll down, old school, right? The infotainment center is your phone or your iPad or whatever. I'm sure there's some additional options that you can add in that would raise the price, but I think that is such a smart idea. Everybody wants something different as far as vehicles go, devices go, and whatnot. Everybody wants something that's less expensive. You know, it's like, I talk with my buddies all the time about vehicles and whatnot. We often talk about how much we miss vehicles being inexpensive. Like, the tech has gotten too expensive, the material's too expensive, everything's too expensive. When you hop inside of your vehicle, in my opinion, it shouldn't cost $120,000 unless it's something very special, you know what I mean? Most people just need a vehicle to go from point A to point B and back. And they would be more than happy to spend $20-something thousand for a vehicle. I don't know if this thing's gonna take off. I don't know if it's going to be successful. But the idea is super smart, right? I hope it takes off. Not that I'm interested all that much in EVs and stuff, but it could be very, very interesting. They come with some sort of paint color, but it's really designed to be like wrapped. So you can wrap this thing as many times as you want to. And apparently it comes with like wrap kits. And I don't know if they do it at the factory or what, but the wrap kits are only $500. I personally do not have the desire to wrap a vehicle myself. I think that would be the most tedious, boring, and awful job. I'd rather go out and split wood all day, every day for a week than spend one day trying to wrap a vehicle. But that's just me. Anyways, folks, what do you all think about this startup, the Slate truck SUV thing? I think it's really, really cool. And apparently, like, the vehicles are designed so that you can do the work yourself. You can change them up. They're going to have, like, do-it-yourself videos online showing you step-by-step how to make alterations to the vehicles and whatnot. That is very interesting. And also inexpensive and practical. We'll see how it takes off. What do you all think? Comment down below. Now, everyone, I'm turning off that camera and I'm gonna eat. Everybody, it is incredibly foggy right now. It is so foggy, you literally cannot see more than like 20 feet. As it stands right now, we have a thunderstorm cell heading this direction. It should be here in about 25 minutes. Unfortunately, it's so foggy at the moment, I can't see any lightning. But I am hearing some thunder. It's gonna be a long and interesting night, that's for sure. I finished up dinner, picked everything up, cleaned everything up, and I thought about having a fire, but it is so wet right now. I decided against it. Naturally, there's no dry firewood out there, so I would have to burn one of those compressed logs. And with the thunderstorm that's coming in, the odds are it's gonna get windy. I just decided not to do the fire. Let's just kick back, let's await the storm, and then we're gonna go to bed. Already it's getting late, it's a little bit after 9 o'clock. I looked at the radar and it's just non-stop storms, all of them coming this way. It is time for the last update of the evening. I've just been kicking back, listening to the rain, listening to the thunder. The brunt of the storms went to our north. Just missed us, just barely. It sounded like it was a good storm too. Lots of lightning, lots of flashes. Unfortunately, I don't think the camera really picked it up because it was so foggy. As it stands right now, it's getting late. It's a little bit after 11 o'clock. And I am tired, folks. I'm ready to go to bed. This really has been a great trip. A lot of fun. Storm after storm. Oh yeah. Just like last time. But even better, actually. The last trip was a good one, but this one tops it. Unfortunately, because that cot tent is so small, I'm not going to be able to bring the camera with me, so it will have to stay in the car. I will have to go to bed, and I will see you all in the morning. It looks like it's going to rain all night long. You never know, we might have some thunderstorms too. We'll see what happens. But folks, good night. See you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you're all doing well. Who's ready for coffee? This guy. It is still raining out there. Absolutely pouring, folks. It poured all night long. All of that rain certainly helped me sleep good. Inside of that tent, I have to say, I was quite comfortable. There's a lot of airflow. It's an odd tent, without a doubt. And I'll talk more about that in the preview coming up. Everybody, let's make some coffee. Cheers, my friends, cheers. A good cup of coffee on a cool morning in the rain. I have to say, camping here on the road like this worked out well. I don't think I've ever camped here before, but it certainly works. I think more than anything, I'm impressed with the amount of rain that we received yesterday, all night long, and this morning. Up in this tree, you can see this ball of leaves. Do you all know what that is? That is a drey, D-R-E-Y, and that is what you call a squirrel's nest. There's at least 2 squirrels in that thing, and they just run all over the place. I mean, it is non-stop, all day long, up and down, jumping from one tree to the next. I've had a good time just sitting here and watching them do their work. They are ballsy, you know what I mean? They'll run out on some branch smaller than your pinky and then jump off of it onto another one. It's awesome. Welcome to the rainforest, folks. This is what it's like day in and day out. The sun comes out, then it rains, repeat over and over. I'll tell you what, as soon as this wave stops, that's when I'm going to take a second, break everything down. It's time to go. I have a lot to do today. Luckily, none of it is outside. The grass has been mowed. Yeah, it's that time again. Not here though. It's almost time. I'll be back soon, but yeah. Everything is growing so fast now. It's unbelievable. In a week, this place will look completely different. It'll be 100% green. This looks to be the break in the weather that I've been looking for, so folks, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you all very much for joining me for this trip. I do appreciate it. If you had a good time, hit the thumbs up. Oh yeah, that's a great way to support this channel. Seriously, if you like watching these videos, before you go, hit the thumbs up. It helps a lot. I am going to begin packing everything up. I will have a preview on this Nightcat tent. The Nightcat Cot Tent. What an interesting shelter, you know? It feels like to me, the company took the design of some tent and they were like, let's put that on a cot. And they didn't like fully think it out. Everybody, a bald eagle just flew by. What? I've never seen one out here. That's amazing. Wow. You know, I mean, I saw it for a split second, folks. A gigantic bird was coming this direction. I thought it was a buzzard, but then it turned and I saw that white tail. Wow. I cannot wait to tell Susie. That's so cool. You know, it's funny. Growing up, we did not have bald eagles here. But over the last 10 years, for some reason, they've moved into the area and they're all over the place. Wow, man, that's so awesome. That has made my day. That means there's a nest out here somewhere. That's cool. Wow. Anyways, everybody, to me, it looks like Nightcat has taken a tent and they were like, okay, we're going to put this thing on a cot. What do we do? Because some of the features are just weird. Like the way that the guy lines are attached is like an afterthought. I've never seen guy lines tied to a strap with a buckle on it. Like it's really, really poor quality. I mean, it works. I would call that like rigging something up. That's not really like a feature, if you know what I mean. Anyways, everyone, I'm done. That bald eagle was amazing. That is so cool. Do take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Make sure to check out my second YouTube channel, A Quiet Place Adventures. A new adventure is on that channel every single Monday. Oh yeah. Everybody, take care. Be well. Strength and honor. Bye for now. Wow. freaking bald eagle.